Hey, I'm Cindy Ann Pedersen, an award-winning songwriter and creator of survivor music. Music is the heart of my advocacy. I expose pathological abuse, what it looks like, how it works, and what it does to those trapped in it.
I think anybody who has been a victim of any form or shape of abuse, they have this compassion for other victims and survivors. It's if you've been through it, you have that compassion. If you have somebody close to you that says get over it, or somebody you don't know that says get over it, I think it's because it bothers them to think about the horrific trauma that follows abuse. Because when we keep talking about it, or victims go through horrendous stuff that as a survivor they still don't get over it, that sort of makes bystanders go inward, because they have to then deal with, if it's that bad, why didn't I do anything about it if I knew about it, right?
Or feel help they can't do it.
Yeah, so it's more about them. Or it could be, if it was that bad, why didn't I see it? But then you also have the aspect of, a lot of people think it couldn't have happened to me because I'm not that stupid, or I'm not that unlucky, or whatever it is. They don't identify themselves as a potential target for being a victim,
Right.
because it's something that is almost like beneath them. It's almost like if somebody hasn't been victimized, they think it's something they can control. They haven't really realized that it's not up to the victim, it's up to the abuser to decide who they want to abuse. It's never up to the victim. That's almost like, you still have people who say to a girl can be walking in a short skirt and get raped on the way home at night. And the first thing they'll say, why did you go dressed like that? You're asking for it. That's blaming the victim. Or if you would have done X or Y, you wouldn't have happened or ended up in that situation. When it comes to abusive partners, a lot of bystanders would often say, get over it. Now you are still so young, you could meet somebody new. Why don't you focus on that? Or you were abused as a child, but you're an adult now. Get over it. And I think that get over it part is something that victims sometimes feel guilty about, because it's something that society keeps on repeating. Why don't I get over it? Why shouldn't I get over it? Or why can't I get over it? And it makes a lot of people unhappy, because it's something that society keeps on repeating. I should get over it, but the word should, get over it, should be erased. That should be erased, because it's okay to have found peace within the situation, but some things you need to talk about, some things you might be reminded about. Triggers happen, and I think when survivors talk to each other, they find some sort of like battle stories they share, that it's like a different compassion. And when I have spoken to other survivors, it's almost like one person's telling their story and the other person jumps in and tells their story, and you're sharing separate stories, but they're the same story. And it's almost like taking words out of mouths from other people. It's like comfort in that. It's like somebody understands you.
The dynamic is the
And
same.
yeah, and I think that compassion and sympathy for other survivors is unique for people that have been abused. But you also have people that are bystanders. There are bystanders that do support survivors, of course. Then it's usually maybe somebody who's had a loved one that they couldn't help, and they're just so heartbroken. At the same time, I think people get, bystanders, they might get annoyed, because it's almost like a hamster wheel. It just goes over and over again, that survivors want to talk about their resilience, or they want to talk about what they've been through. And it's almost like bystanders have mentioned to me in the past, it's like you're wearing your survival badge as something you're proud of. I was like, heck yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
if you've lived through hell and back, yeah, you can try it. Well, see if you want to wear that badge too. Why should I go hide under a rock for what happened?
No,
I tried that. It didn't
our
work.
job is to help others who've gone through it too,
Yeah.
because honestly, really, unless you've been a victim of a certain level of abuse, you really don't know. There's no way for you
No, and
to
I
know.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that's like part of the reason too for having this podcast is that I want to demystify speaking open about surviving. It's nothing to be ashamed about. It's nothing to go hide under a rock for, because a lot of survivors go online and they join communities or writing to each other, but there are not that many people to dare to speak out about it because the bystanders say, get over it. So unless you join a club with other survivors, who are you going to talk to it about? Because nobody wants to listen. Bystanders don't care. Or,
Yeah,
of course, some of them do, but in general, it's like
it's
they get tired of
considered
listening
it's
to it.
also oversharing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't it's just a part of who I am, and if it comes up and that's oversharing, then I'm sorry. People don't have to talk to me. It's not a law. You don't have to talk to me, you know, if I make
But a
you
lot of that,
uncomfortable. But that's just something that for a long time I didn't talk about. And now I've just accepted that it's a part of what happened to me. It's a part of who I am. It's it it informs my worldview on many things. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about it from time to time when I feel like it's appropriate.
uh, yeah, and it really has to do with the situation, who
Mhm.
you're talking to, when you're ready to open up about it. I think one of the reasons why people don't talk about it today is we talked about the flying monkeys and enablers. I think pathological abusers have been in charge of the narrative so long, telling flying monkeys that victims should get over it. Abuse should be something that is just forgiven. Okay, it happened. Get over it. That's something that abusers, they use that to avoid accountability. They might say something like, it happened, get over it. Or I would say most people who don't want to listen, they've been told that story over and over again, that we should move on. I think that we should shift that narrative. No, we shouldn't move on, because if we're going to avoid abuse behind closed doors, if we're going to avoid dictators, if we're going to avoid fascists, we have to talk about what has been going on. Why does it continue to go on? Is because we don't talk about it. We don't want to hear the stories.
Yeah.
So if we're going to stop abusers from gaining dominance or gaining authority, we have to be able to speak openly about what they have done to people they have abused. I mean, in order to avoid it, you can't avoid abusers abusing, because abusers are always going to abuse. You can't stop them from being abusive, but you can stop them from not being held accountable. You can stop them from getting away with it. You can stop them from society thinking it's okay. And the only way you can do that is by talking about it.
Yep.
Awareness starts by talking about it, and awareness leads to clarity, and clarity leads to change.
Yes.
Yeah. On that note, let's just listen to my song for today,
Okay.
is I Must Confess, because that is a song I wrote when I reached radical acceptance, where I had to confess to myself that the relationship was never going to be any better than it was abuse, and to continue to believe change would be possible when I had reached radical acceptance with that clarity. When you know in your spine it is abuse, to then continue to be in the relationship would have been crazy for me.
Mhm.
It's not knowing you are in an abusive relationship that is something that keeps people in denial. Also, when you know it's abuse and you believe there can be change, that creates a false hope. When you come to the point where you can't unsee it and you know there's no possible way. And that can happen in different forms for different people. For me, it was
My ex, when
when he was clinically diagnosed, and I knew probably the year before he was clinically assessed that he had narcissistic, Machiavellian, and antisocial traits. But it wasn't before seeing it in writing that I actually, I would say, I had this light bulb moment that literally living with a person that is high on psychopathy, Machiavellianism, malignant narcissist, and every therapist I've spoken to said this person is not going to change, and my life is really in a life-threatening state if I'm going to continue to be with them. When the message is so clear, even then there was moments of, I would say, false hope until I saw it in writing, and then it was like, I can't unsee this. So that was like, I had to then confess to myself I didn't like it and I didn't want to be in the situation, but I had to be real with myself that in order to save my sanity, my own sanity, and to have a chance to be free, I had to come to the conclusion that I couldn't continue.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really the backstory of this song.
Okay.
You talk to me like I'm just a game. Play me down and put me to blame. I move the way you want, dance on your cue. Act how you like, do the things you want me to do. But all I really wanted was simple and real. Talk to me normal, the kindness I could feel. You never saw me when I gave you that chance, so I wore your mask, I played your dance. I must confess, I won't play your show. Your shallow words don't own me, I know. Pathological abuse, I've seen the proof. Man, you ain't a king, you just hide from the truth. You flex in the mirror, but it's all pretend. Loud to your crowd, empty at the end. Your influence fades when respect runs dry. A shallow man can't look me in the eye. You plotted control with a smile on your face. Sadistic delight in the losing race. Calculated charm, but I see through a Machiavellian mask that never was true. All I wanted was a little respect. Not the lies, not the games, not the flies. I gave you my heart, but you let it fall. Now I'm rising, I don't need you now. I must confess, I won't play your show. Your shallow words don't own me, I know. Pathological abuse, I've seen the proof. Man, you ain't a king, you just hide from the truth. You can keep your golden chains, no more games, I won't obey. Your shallow crown won't hold my name. I rise above, I end your game. I must confess. I must confess. I'm
That's a great video,
Yeah.
Cindy.
Thank you.
All your stuff is just so powerful. The images really evoke the power of the message. Really good.
Thank you. I hope that viewers take the time to watch the music videos too, because even though my music is on streaming, like I said, it tells one story, but when I create music videos, I try to portray the story a little bit visual, so it puts that extra layer on it. Yeah. But again, I hope people make it their own songs too, that whatever other survivors can relate to, that at least listening to my music, I hope it like validates what they've been through, that some songs might reflect more one type of abuse than others. Like pathological abuse can be societal, it can be behind closed doors, it could be a work colleague. So not all my songs will hit home with all types of survivors, but I think there is a little bit of each song that maybe will validate and acknowledge what victims and survivors go through. And it's also my way of calling out and confronting abuse that I think is needed to be done. There are certainly a lot of songs out there about resilience. A lot of survivor songs are about the power of surviving and showing the strength and resilience, but there aren't really that many songs that show or tell abuse tactics in that way that I'm trying to do. It's not just a bad breakup heartache song that I'm trying to convey. It is a different way of creating awareness through music. So it's trying to do what protest music has done with that forum, or what love music is doing for love. I'm trying to use survivor music to portray what survival actually sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
I think you're doing an awesome job, and I enjoy talking to you about it and hearing your perspectives on it. I always learn a lot because there's so much to delve into, and it's important to do that, I believe, anyway.
On that note, if I can ask people to hit the subscribe button, it goes a long way as it helps reach more people.
Yeah. CindyPedersen.com too. Pedersen with a D. Don't forget.
Yeah,
It has a
it's
D.
Pedersen. The Norwegian Pedersen.
Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. It's been awesome to hang with
Okay.
you again, Cindy. And so, yeah, I look forward to these episodes that you're going to be putting out during the week. And be sure and tag me to help spread the word.
I must confess. I must confess. I must confess. I'm sick of this. Talk to me like I'm a thing. Not anymore. You talk to me like I'm just a game. Play me down and put me to blame. I move the way you want, I dance on your cue. Act how you like, do the things you want me to do. But all I really wanted was simple and real. Talk to me normal, the kindness I could feel. You never saw me when I gave you that chance, so I wore your mask, I played your dance. I